Rick Sanchez, of course, came out on a radio program and said Jon Stewart was a bigot and that basically the Jews run the media, right? It's an unfortunate thing to say. And then he's had to apologize. And he called Jon Stewart personally. And Jon Stewart actually is a super class act. Did a really nice story on him the next day. Now, he made fun of him a little bit. Of course, he had to, right? And he nailed it. Rick Sanchez is Michael Scott from The Office, okay? He means well, but he's kind of a dork, you know? And he's like, and he did montages of Sanchez behind the scenes and Michael Scott, and it was brilliant. But he said, look, the guy doesn't mean bad, right? And Sanchez is going to come out and talk about what he did on Good Morning America with George Stephanopoulos. Let's go to clip number 8 first.
Now I know this has not been the easiest week for you, but you're still smiling.
It's tough. I screwed up, George.
What happened on that radio show?
I was tired. I'd been working 14-hour days for like 2.5 months. I was doing 3 shows. I was exhausted. It was right after the air. My daughter had a softball game I desperately wanted to go to, and I was a little impatient. And I said some things that I shouldn't have said, and they were wrong. And they were not only were they wrong, they were offensive. And people who were offended by it, you know, deserve.
People thought they were anti-Semitic.
Yeah, deserve to know that. First of all, that's not what I meant. Second of all, I apologize, and it was wrong of me for me to be so careless and so inartful. But it happened, and I can't take it back. And you know what? Now I have to stand up and be responsible for it, just like I teach my kids.
All right, look, he's trying to make up for it, right? And I feel kind of bad for him, right? But at the same time, that softball game was the worst excuse I've ever heard. I had to go to a softball game for my daughter, so I just said the Jews run the media.
The Jews.
Okay, wait a minute. That doesn't make any kind of sense, right? So I don't and you're tired, so you might say some stupid things, or you might get worked up. We get worked up on the show, right? But you don't get worked up and all of a sudden say something that has never crossed your mind. You know, that doesn't make no kind of sense, right? And the word inartful is driving me crazy. Please stop saying that, okay? Just say, hey, you know what? And you know what I would have liked in the apology? And like, I think Stewart's right. I think that guy doesn't even mean bad, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel kind of bad for him. But what I would have liked in the apology is why he realizes it was wrong, or why it was a dumb thing to say.
Wait,
right?
But what was the dumb thing he said?
Well, so first of all, he said Jon Stewart grew up in a privileged life. His mom, he had a single mom who was a school teacher. There was nothing privileged about it. He was just calling him privileged because he's Jewish, right?
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? And then he said people like Jon Stewart run the networks, and they're in a privileged position, et cetera, et cetera. The generalizations were over the top, okay? And so if you're saying, for example, you know, there are a lot of Jewish Americans who are in the media. Of course there are. Everybody knows that. That's not an interesting or controversial comment. But if you think there's a cabal and they're looking to keep Rick Sanchez down, that's cuckoo.
No, I don't think there's a cabal and they're looking to keep anyone down.
Yeah, that's crazy. Right?
I mean, they might be looking to keep Rick Sanchez down now.
Well, now he might be in a little bit of trouble.
But last week, I don't think they cared.
No. So now let's go to clip number 11, and he's going to give credit to Jon Stewart as well.
CNN didn't screw up. Rick Sanchez screwed up. Rick Sanchez was inartful. Rick Sanchez said things that may have been offensive. Rick Sanchez unjustly accused Jon Stewart of being something he's not. I learned later that he's the classiest guy in the world when I called him, and I'm the one who needs to be in trouble. Okay. And if CNN ever takes me back, I'd be happy to go
you're
back.
You're a stand-up guy to come out and talk about it today, and I think I failed your quiz. What is it?
I still haven't figured it out.
So it's 33.
I still haven't figured it out. Thanks, George.
Okay, Rick,
don't worry
thanks
about
very
it.
Much.
All right. First of all, I don't think anybody was blaming CNN, were they? So second of all, don't talk in the third person that much. Okay. Rick Sanchez was guilty. Rick Sanchez was the bad guy. Okay. All right.
That's how he's separating. Like, even now, he's not really taking responsibility. It was Rick Sanchez's
right.
fault. Not my fault. It's Rick Sanchez.
It was that guy, Rick Sanchez. And, you know, I just wish he'd say, look, you know, it was crazy to say that Stewart grew up in a life of privilege. To make that assumption, I don't care how tired I was. God, that was dumb. And here's what I mean. Here's what I was saying instead. Mm-hmm. At one point in the interview with Good Morning America, he said, look, I'm frustrated that there aren't more minorities. And so I had a chip on my shoulder about that in the media. And Stephanopoulos and went back and forth on that. And, you know, maybe focus on that frustration just as a way of saying, like, that's why I went in a direction I should have never gone. But if you notice, of course, in that, he's basically saying, CNN, please, please rehire. Right.
Yeah, he's totally saying that.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen either.
Right. But, it'll be interesting to see what happens to Rick Sanchez down the road.
You mean, does he go to Fox or?
Where does he go next? No, he can't go to Fox. He's had bad blood with Fox. And he apparently had bad blood with MSNBC. So he's in a lot of trouble. If it's not CNN, I don't know who it is. So it'll be
Palestinian Broadcasting Network?
I don't know. Al Jazeera?
Maybe. Why not?
You never know. It's a crazy world.